Hi there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I'm very excited to be checking out Zombicide White Death, the long-awaited sequel to medieval fantasy. Zombicide is here, and this time it brings a biting something or other. COL. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So I will say it's the same typical CMON boring main image with nothing but the box, but they have slightly spruced it up. Now there's some mountains in the backdrop. So kudos to whoever said, hey, maybe we can put mountains in this one. I'm sure it was a hard-fought battle between the pro nothing but white background team. So yeah, we've got some snow. So it brings a biting cold with it. Okay, so here's the thing. If I don't know Zombicide, then I'm not, nothing about this really intrigues me. I'd like to know the player count, the time, the age, the mechanisms, but they don't have to do that because they're Zombicide, because this is the 10th Zombicide spinoff. They make $1 million no matter what, and we all know exactly what we're getting into is going to be a massive, big box of plastic that you're going to want at the end of this. It's probably going to cost about $230 and just be tons of plastic. So let's see if they can convince me, once again, because there's one thing about CMON. They do a lot of stuff that's but they do a lot of stuff really, really good. They've been polishing, they've been refining, and their videos typically bring it. So I'm always excited for a CMON video. Let's go. Getting me Game of Thrones vibes, okay? I think that's exactly what they're going for. A once proud city of prestige and wealth, now reduced to a cold battleground. We survived the Black Plague. And we fought the Green Horde. Oh, so they tried to connect the other expansions. Hey, knock my eyeballs. So they're trying to, because the Green Horde was one of the previous Zombicides expansions. So they're trying to connect the universe, I guess. So this is set in different time periods. That's interesting. Whatever. Okay, so we got plastic. Really nice plastic, that's what we're expecting. Bringing the fight to distant frozen lands. I could have used without the first 40 seconds of theme. Plastic, plastic, more plastic. Plastic? You won't believe the amount of plastic. Was that? So here's my question. Is this actually 3D terrain, or is this just some sort of video editing technique you're trying to use to show me that, oh, there's going to be line of sight where you're on high ground? I can't tell yet, which is annoying. I imagine it's probably that's exciting, though, if this is actual terrain. Because we've seen other games do that. What was it? Apex Legends is a board game coming out next month. That does something like that where it's going to have different terrain you're going to stack on top of each other, and I still can't tell. Yeah. That looks like see, I don't know. Now I'm genuinely curious. Is this a cool plastic piece that's going to go on the board I'm going to pay extra for? This whole big box of plastic? You found a way to put more plastic in? Or is this just 3D game trickery? You're just trying to convey to me, I don't know. I'd like to know. Hopefully it's going to be obvious very soon here. Theme. That was cool. Once again, I still don't know. Am I I want to know. I'm excited if that is plastic terrain where you can because it looked like maybe you can even open it up. More plastic. Oh no. So they are actual walls. Cool. I take back my original compliment of CMON's videos. I feel like this one might have jumped the shark. Like, it was just like plastic, theme, plastic, wall, maybe? Stop asking the important questions, take your wallet out and bend over already, CMON, probably. Yeah, so hopefully that'll be easily conveyed to me, whether or not the player count, the time length, the age. Now, Sean did some research here and says that there's 5 projects as he sees that are currently out pending, which is nice because that always normally takes a while with a company like this to see how many of these things are out and how many things are not out because they make tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. Okay, Masters of the Universe. I did just hear my buddy Scott say that he had got his. So I think people are starting to ship on that one. That's supposed to be a big box. 30,000 comments. Oh my gosh. Another CMON, another Zombicide. I'm guessing it will be copy-paste. Maybe, yeah. Label created, I mean, based on that video felt like it was just for CMON? I don't even know. So yes, good luck everyone. Still waiting on label ship. I'm hoping mine get picked up today. Start its journey. So this was the one, it's starting its shipping. Cool. We'll get that one off Marvel United. Pretty sure this one is out. 111,000 comments. It's so many comments. That's absurd. So giving credits due, I report that CMON did finally send me the missing items for my original pledge. So yeah, people got their stuff. And good customer service, no left. I do not believe this one is out. I'm pretty sure I would have saw lots of pictures online if this one was out. It's getting ready for production, so yeah. I'm just going to take Sean's word on it. It looks like they have 5 big box things out. Now, I just slammed a company last week for having, I think, 4 or 5 big box companies out. And I'm about to look like a total hypocrite because I'm like, yeah, it's just CMON being CMON. I'm an enabler. But honestly, are you worried that you're not going to get it? Like, all the negative things that everyone says about CMON, and there is so much negative stuff said about CMON, like an insane amount. Are you worried you're not going to get your stuff at the end of the day? And I don't feel like the answer is no for most people. All right, let's just check these. God, gee, I want to add something, but already finished my backer kit. Is there anything I can do to add something? No, they're not even responding. Just they have so many people in their chat that everything gets answered. It's so bizarre. They're not responding at all. Wow. Because here's the thing. Is this one out yet? Oh, not there. We're not going there. What? Get away. Sorry, my mouse is tricking on me. Final painted Marvels. First off, the usual ordered all backers to complete their pledge manager survey within a shocking reveal. Okay. So can you do it? I mean, they have 5 big things out. You do need to know that. But I'm not particularly worried on the can you do it. I'll check that one off. Just CMON. CMON to me is, in the board game spectrum, too big to fail. Now, obviously, that is what they say about a lot of things that end up failing. And they're by no means like a massive board game company when you factor in like mass market board game companies. But of like the indie board game companies, I'd say that. Like, I'm not worried about it. Another CMON, yeah. So 1 to 6 players, ages 14 plus 1 hour. So right there, I feel like that could be better than the white background. Like CMON, like maybe that one looks good. Why couldn't that be that? Like that at least looks thematic. But 1 to 6 players, 1 hour, I'd spot like that. Those are very nice numbers right there. The long-awaited sequel to Zombicide Black Plague and Green Horde has finally arrived. Winter is upon us with new survivors, new zombies. Scale your great walls to your advantage. I still don't know if those walls are an actual thing. I don't think they are. I think that video was just confusing and misleading. Especially when, like, the monster jumps on the walls, and you're like, the wall, and it jumps on the walls, and it's like a big deal, and you're like, oh, those are real walls, and you're like, oh, wait, they're not real walls. Okay. Mind the zone, so it's $110. You get $110, you get a big box of, I don't know, where's the long, sexy scrolling shot? Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Granted, this is not going to be the most popular pledge level. So we're up to 18, 83, 97, 111, 113 minis, and we haven't even started on the stretch goals. So 113 minis for a very well-beloved, well-established game. Granted, they haven't spotlighted their pedigree that much, but they're almost to the point where they really need to. I'd say yes still. So we're getting 113 minis for $110. Okay. 73 equipment cards, 15 corruption tokens, bunch of stuff. Ooh, 6 plastic dashboards. Okay. That looks like a solid price. 200,000 minis. That's the all-in. That's the all-in at the end of the thing. So how much is it? I feel like that's a pretty reasonable price. So now that they've hooked me on that pretty reasonable price, this is where they segue to the actual pledge level that I'm going to want, which is going to have way more stuff. And then here's the stretch goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. That's more minis than a lot of some other minis games have just in the stretch goals. So it's going to have its own stupid box because CMON... they make it exciting. They got the fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out on this box. You want to miss out on this box? What if this is the best version of Zombicide ever of all the different versions of Zombicide? We got update packs, update promo packs, cool. Then we got daily unlocks, so we got 5 more. So we're up to around 150 minis. Maybe we put that. Maybe that's cooler than it. 150 minis. $110. Why not that? Or at bare minimum, 1 to 6 players. I think 1 to 6 players. That's a fantastic player count. Everybody can play, or I can play solo. That's what. Honestly, 1 to 6 players, 1 to 7 players. That might be my favorite player count if you can actually nail everything. But then, obviously, wouldn't that be everybody's favorite player count if all the player counts were great? That's a stupid thing to say. No, because 1 to 8 would be better. Okay, so we got the rule booklet right here. Good. You can click through it. I imagine this has got to be polished, considering this is the 12th Zombicide rule booklet they've made with some minor tweaks here and there. It's like Munchkin almost at this point. Hopefully they spotlight what the new thing is for the returning backers. Maybe I just didn't notice it. Maybe it is climbing on walls. Zombicide. So this is a preview. Unleash the hordes. It's gameplay. Awesome. So I do love how clear that is. You got a preview. You got a gameplay. They put a good chunk of chest for this. Live play. Cool. So they got 2 big ones right there. Optional buys. This market is Kickstarter exclusive. So what is this? Is this a Eternal Empire? Is this just an expansion? What is this? I don't know why I want it. Is this an expansion too? But I mean, is this a new expansion? I guess that's my question. We got more stuff you can buy. How to choose optional buys, okay? Daily unlocks, tons of stuff. And I like how they spotlighted it earlier. Cool. Stretch goals, 200K, 230, 260, 290. Stupid, just tons of stuff. You're going to get tons of stuff. How many add-ons already? Yeah. So if you're not familiar with CMON and how they generally run their Kickstarter, this is not the pledge level at the end. There will be a massive pledge level that has everything in it, and that's what most people end up backing on these. They've got it down to a science. Good for them. Shipping information. The problem is, here's the thing. I hope someone with much more talent than me eventually does a really deep dive into all the bad habits that CMON has introduced into the Kickstarter universe, because they only work for CMON. If you are a smaller company and you try and do a lot of the things that CMON does, that's when you get in trouble. That's when we have these games that were like, actually, we needed X amount of dollars, so we're going to have to pull the plug. Even though it looks like we're doing really, really well, we're not. Because we did the CMON thing. Just accept that it'll be $400 for all in one final day. Yeah, pretty much. US Hub 33 to 44. That seems like really, really, really terrible shipping. What is, but, I mean, it's not. I mean, think of how much that weighs. Because it's not just a box. It's going to be a box and another box and another box. And so it looks like it's a big one. So 150 in and out the door. That doesn't seem terrible for a game. That's like less than $1 a mini for a well-established game. Now, that's the one thing I was a little bit surprised. I don't feel like they really mention their pedigree at all here, which I think is a bit of a misspent, especially with how many new people get into the hobby all the time. You know, like, this is a top 200, one of the top 200 thematic games of all time. Because, yeah, Zombicide, that was huge when I first started getting into the hobby, when I was early in it. I remember there was Z-Pocalypse and Zombicide. There was, like, a big rivalry between the two, it almost felt like. And then Zombicide, obviously, ended up winning that battle. But, yeah. So, cool. I would spotlight a little bit of just how it's highly rated, like, because it's not just this one. What I was trying to do was see, here it is. That'll show me how high, 604, 224, 224, 615, 635, 910, 77. That's ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games in the top 1,000 all time. Just Zombicide. Like, I would, like, why not spotlight that a little bit? Like, that's, call me crazy. I know you want to show me the plastic. It's all plastic all day, everything, but you got a good pedigree. You got a good game. There's a reason that they just keep putting out more and more and more and more and more of this. It's because they're making $1.2 million. I mean, they're consistently making millions of dollars. All right, so FAQ. So they can organize, but there's only 8. What is the size of the miniatures? Cool. I mentioned inches as well, but they're going to do CMON stuff. 13 comments, 8 comments, 31 comments. Let's check out the most engaging comment and see what they did. So 31, is it 31? 31, 25, 31. So yeah, we'll go with one of the 31s. Let's see what they said here. Daily unlock, stay strong. So this is probably prepackaged. This was written well in advance. Yeah, so this is well in advance of this Kickstarter. This was written. And it's just people, damn, more survivors. After the post, just had an epiphany. Crossover with Twilight. So yeah, this is just people excited about it. They've got these people chomping at the bits about it. And here's my best example. The one that kind of clicks in my mind. I thought about it a couple weeks ago. Imagine if Dominion had been massively popular and just shooting out an expansion every single year back in the Kickstarter crowdfunding days. Imagine how much chit chat would have been in these comments just about those cards and stuff. So I get it. I completely get it. Super excited about this IP, and with good reason. 6 games in the top 1,000. Imagine if you've been taking that ride and you've played 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. You know, this is an insta-back. So, by the end of the day, probably going to be a great game. So, let's give this a final grade. This is a quick one, too. In and out 16 minutes. I do like that. Do I want it? Yes, but not necessarily because you spotlighted anything in particular. You hit me with a good price. You had so many minis, just like a stupid, absurd amount of minis, and I'm a sucker for minis. We all are. That's why Kickstarter is the way it is. So do I want it? Yes. I think they could have spotlighted their pedigree a lot better. I think they could have spotlighted their player count, their time link, their age, which are great. 1 to 6 players, 1 hour. You know, based on 6 of the top 1,000 games of all time on Board Game Geek. All those things I think could have been spotlighted, but they don't have to do it because they're CMON. Like Gloomhaven or Kingdom Death Monitor, they changed the market in big ways. They did. A company like CMON, what gets me about them is they just do the exact same thing over and over and over again, playing it safe. They have not done anything revolutionary. Here's the thing. CMON, because I get review copies of games a lot of times at conventions. And there was a couple years where CMON was literally throwing everything against the wall to see what would stick. And so I think what they tried to do that, and they just were like, you know, this is the way. Like, this is just much more profitable. Because they had, like, all sorts of stuff. Like, party games and, like, roll and write games and just a whole variety of different things. And now it definitely feels like they've pulled back the reins. Which, you know, I get it. I get it. If you're making $1.2 million and you got 16 days left to go, you know you're going to see a huge chunk at the end of the campaign. You know, I get it. So do I want it? Yes, but not really because of you, just because of the game you have. How much is it? I feel like that's solid. And then can you do it? Yes, but they do have a lot of stuff outstanding. But once again, I'm not particularly worried about it. So I guess in the end, I'm going to give this one a... and plus, it's quick, 16 minutes. C+. I think it's a C+. Ooh, CMON wiki page outlines all their Kickstarters. Ooh, someone puts up... That's interesting. I might check that out sometimes. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the C+ on this one. Let me know in the comments below, what is your final grade for this one? I imagine that grade will probably go higher once they reveal whatever the final honest box is that I'm going to buy. But they got gameplays, they got the rule booklet. Yeah. The total thus far amount raised that CMON has raised is $38 million. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for Zombicide White Death. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button as I'm trying to reach 17,000 subscribers in 2023 to make it my biggest year ever. Have a great day. Bye-bye.